The news hit naval circles like a cannonball. Greece had publicly rejected the U.S. offer of 4 free Freedom-class littoral combat ships. These modern warships, retired early by the U.S. Navy, seemed like an irresistible offer for Greece, facing tensions in the Aegean. But Greece's answer was a resounding no, delivered publicly. Their evaluation found the ships unreliable and expensive to maintain. This rare rejection sent shockwaves through NATO and beyond. The decision resonated in the Indo-Pacific, where the Philippines was considering the same ships. For the Philippines, the dilemma was clear: accept a risky gift, or heed Greece's warning. The answer would have implications far beyond the Aegean. Greece's rejection was rooted in hard lessons. The Freedom class's propulsion system, especially its combining gear, was notoriously unreliable, leaving ships stranded and repairs costly. For Greece, inheriting ships with such a fundamental flaw was unacceptable. Survivability was another concern. The lightweight aluminum superstructure made the ships vulnerable to fire and missile strikes. In the high-stakes Aegean, sending sailors into harm's way on fragile vessels was a risk Greece refused to take. Operational costs were staggering. Free ships would drain the naval budget with specialized maintenance and US-only spare parts. The modular mission system, once a selling point, proved slow and unreliable, leaving Greece with ships lacking proven combat capability. The Hellenic Navy needed robust, dedicated frigates, not jack-of-all-trades vessels that excelled at none. Ultimately, the Freedom class offered unreliable engines, poor survivability, high costs, and unproven systems. Greece saw a financial and operational trap, not an opportunity. Their decision was simple. The risks far outweighed the benefits. The Freedom class was a headache they didn't need. Their public refusal was a message to other navies: beware the hidden costs of free ships. For Greece, saying no was the only responsible choice. The littoral combat ship program began with bold ambitions. The U.S. Navy wanted a fast, agile warship for the 21st century, capable of dominating shallow coastal waters. The Freedom class, with its monohull design, promised speeds over 40 knots and rapid mission adaptability. The core idea was modularity: swap out mission packages for mine hunting, anti-submarine warfare, or surface combat. On paper, this meant one ship could do the job of 3, saving money and boosting flexibility. The LCS was envisioned as a naval sprinter, able to reach crisis points faster than any other warship. Its shallow draft would allow operations in ports and waterways off limits to larger ships. The promise was a future-proof multi-mission platform for a changing world. But as the ships entered service, the gap between vision and reality became painfully clear. The LCS's revolutionary promise would soon collide with harsh operational realities. The dream of a flexible, affordable warship was about to unravel. The Freedom class's promise quickly faded as real-world problems mounted. The propulsion system's combining gear was a critical flaw, causing breakdowns and costly repairs. The modular mission packages, the heart of the LCS concept, failed to deliver. Mine countermeasures lagged, anti-submarine warfare was scrapped, and surface warfare was underwhelming. The Navy was left with ships that couldn't reliably perform their intended missions. As confidence plummeted, the U.S. Navy quietly scaled back the program, rebranding the ships and cutting production. The LCS proved lightly armed and poorly protected, vulnerable in any high-end conflict. Critics warned the ships would be sunk in minutes against serious adversaries. Many Freedom-class vessels were retired after less than a decade, a stunning admission of failure. Billions had been spent on ships that were unreliable, expensive, and not survivable in combat. The Navy's quiet retreat became a full withdrawal. Now nearly new warships sat idle, waiting for a new owner willing to accept their limitations. The Freedom class had become a cautionary tale in naval procurement. The U.S. moved on, but the ship's legacy lingered, especially for allies considering their own acquisitions. The question: could anyone else make these ships work? The Philippines, an archipelago of over 7,600 islands, has one of the world's longest coastlines. Its economy, security, and identity are tied to the sea, with a vast exclusive economic zone rich in resources. Patrolling these waters is a challenge. Illegal fishing, smuggling, piracy, and Chinese expansion in the South China Sea. Yet the Philippine Navy remains one of Southeast Asia's weakest, relying on aging patrol craft. The shortage of ships, the hull gap, is the central problem. The Freedom class could be a risky but necessary solution to this persistent numbers problem. Where Greece saw a burden, the Philippines sees a chance. The Freedom class's main appeal isn't combat power, Its numbers. Acquiring several ships would instantly boost the Philippine Navy's presence across its vast archipelago. The LCS's speed is a major asset, enabling rapid response to crises, search and rescue, and maritime law enforcement. Its helicopter deck and small boat launch capability make it ideal for disaster relief and interdiction missions. Despite flaws, these are modern ships with advanced sensors and communications, an upgrade for Filipino sailors. Operating them would accelerate training, doctrine, and modernization. The LCS could serve as a stepping stone from Y2-era castoffs to a more capable fleet. Politically, the ships would symbolize a deepening U.S.-Philippine alliance, especially important amid Chinese aggression. U.S.-built warships patrolling the West Philippine Sea would send a powerful message. For Manila, the strategic and political value may outweigh the technical risks. The gamble: can the Philippines turn a failed U.S. warship into a useful tool for its own needs? The answer could redefine its maritime strategy. The Philippines doesn't plan to use the Freedom class as frontline combatants. The Navy knows the ship's vulnerabilities and won't send them against the Chinese fleet. Instead, the LCS would be repurposed as high-endurance patrol and law enforcement vessels. Their main mission: maritime presence, patrol, and showing the flag in contested waters. A modern warship near 2nd Thomas Shoal sends a stronger message than an old patrol boat. The LCS's presence alone deters illegal fishing and harassment. Its speed, helicopter, and small boats make it effective for interdiction, surveillance, and rescue. These are core Coast Guard tasks, not high-intensity combat. By shifting focus to maritime security, the Philippines can leverage the LCS's strengths and minimize its weaknesses. High operating costs remain a challenge, but are more manageable in a patrol role. The goal: turn a failed warship into a successful Coast Guard ship. In the Philippine context, this transformation might just work. It's a pragmatic approach to a complex problem. Accepting the Freedom class is a high-stakes gamble for the Philippines. The biggest hurdle: the propulsion system. Manila must insist on a full U.S.-funded repair before accepting any ship. Without this fix, the ships are liabilities, not assets. Operating costs are another risk. Fuel, maintenance, and spare parts will strain the defense budget. The Philippine Navy must be ready for a long-term financial commitment, or risk ending up with idle ships. Training and logistics are daunting. Filipino crews will need extensive U.S. training, and new support infrastructure must be built. A deep partnership with the U.S. Navy and contractors is essential. Without robust support, the ships could become expensive peer queens. There's also an opportunity: cost resources spent on the LCS could buy more conventional, reliable patrol vessels. The Philippines is betting that a few complex ships are better than many simple ones. If the gamble fails, naval modernization could stall for years. The stakes are high, and the risks must be weighed carefully. Manila's decision will shape its navy for a generation. For the Freedom class transfer to succeed, it must be more than a handover of hardware. First, the U.S. must fully fix the propulsion flaw, no exceptions. The Philippines should demand the same reliability as the U.S. Navy expects for its own fleet. Second, the deal must include a comprehensive support package: spare parts, tools, technical documentation, and long-term U.S. training. U.S. technical advisors should be embedded with the Philippine Navy to build local maintenance skills. The goal: true capability, not dependency. Third, Manila must invest in its own naval infrastructure, upgrading facilities and training a new generation of engineers and technicians. This could mean new technical schools or partnerships with universities. Success requires national commitment, not just new ships. Ultimately, this is about more than filling a hull gap. It's a defining moment for Philippine defense. If managed well, the LCS could boost maritime presence and strengthen the U.S. alliance. If mishandled, it could become a costly setback. The choice is about readiness to make the strategic, financial, and organizational investments needed. The future of Philippine maritime security may depend on it.